David Andrew Weeb, founder of Spark Infinity niche-based Facebook group. David, what is going on in Spark Infinity?
Spark Infinity has been growing pretty rapidly since January. We started with literally 4 or 5 members, now to well over 1,400 people, serving creatives and creators, poets, artists, visual artists, musicians, actors, actresses.
What should members of Spark Infinity be prepared for? What are the live shows about?
We like to interview people and get a sense of who they are, the kind of things they do, highlight them, and especially their amazingness, their personality, their superpowers, whatever makes them great. That's what we like to highlight in those conversations.
So how could members of Spark Infinity also benefit from Bump Global?
For one thing, there are so many amazing heart-centered founders of various niche-based Facebook groups that if you wanted to be interviewed, you could just put yourself in the middle of the storm and find all kinds of groups to be featured in and interviewed in all day long. And the other thing is, if they have the desire and the work ethic to build their own niche-based Facebook group and blow it up, that's another opportunity that's waiting for them. And I only see things growing from there.
Welcome to Spark Infinity Office Hours, where creative journeys unfold in real time. In these intimate sessions, our hosts open their creative playbooks to share fresh discoveries, current experiments, and hard-won insights from their personal artistic paths. Whether diving into recent breakthroughs or working through creative challenges, each office hour session offers a raw, unfiltered look at the creative process in action. Join us to explore the practical tools, mindset shifts, and unexpected revelations that shape our ongoing artistic evolution. The quote of the day goes something like this: "Working smart is harder than working hard. It's just less visible, and we care too much about what others see." Who said that? Shane Snow. Today's date is October 30th, 2025, and tonight we are concluding our series on multi-platform presence and growth. Joining me today is Susanna. Susanna, how's it going?
I am good, and I'm just wondering who is the author of that quote
Shane Snow, who is also an author of a book,
called?
Smart Cuts.
Oh, interesting. I'll,
Yeah,
I'll I'll put a note to myself to actually see that.
he may have written other books by now. I can't say that I followed his career. I thought Smart Cuts was pretty good. It had some good points to it.
Is it about cutting hair?
No,
Okay.
neither is it about starting the company, right? It's about, like, there are no shortcuts, but if you do want to get ahead further in life and accomplish more and achieve more and create your dream life, then here are the steps that you would take to do that. It's more along those lines.
Oh, okay. That sounds really good. I could read that right
Yeah,
after.
it's
But you're asking me about how I am. I am good, and yeah, I'm in a place that's like really nice. It's high above ground and just loving the views. And it's above on the on the like 30th floor. So it's
you're on
high
the
above the
30th
city.
floor.
Yeah, and it's high above the city and yeah, I just love the views. How about you? How are you?
What do they call those, botanical gardens? Is that where you're at?
Oh no, I wish there was a botanical garden up on the 30th floor. That would be great.
That
No,
would
it's
be
just
great.
in a building. Yeah, but yeah, I do have some leaves over here, and yeah, something that
Yeah,
to share with later. But yeah. Mhm.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, lots going on my end, and we'll talk about some of that as the night goes on, of course, and preparing these too. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but these are like free weekly webinars. You're getting a lot of information. By the way, I don't know, I've been seeing some comments out there, and I'm not sure if there's a lot of appreciation for this topic. So I think I'm going to need a little bit of encouragement if we're going to move forward with this, because I've been presenting a lot of great information, and it seems like, our top contributors have been enjoying it, but other people who have been commenting are like, well, multi-platform presence is BS, or it's like, just don't do it. Oh, I don't burn myself out. So should I even move on? Should I even give this presentation? Do you think people are deserving there, Susanna?
I think this is worth it for those people who haven't taken the hint on jumping on the multi-platform. I think that this is something that everybody should look into, especially if they're building an online presence, right? So, yeah,
Yeah, also, given that I'm covering a lot of other helpful stuff, even if you choose not to build on X or YouTube or Pinterest and you're primarily on Facebook, whatever the case is, I think there's other takeaways that make this worthwhile. So I'm with you, Susanna. I think our group's deserving. I think our group's worthy. But I've seen the complaints. Well, I won't call them complaints. I'll just say I've seen the comments. I see what you guys are saying out there. So keep dropping those comments. It's great. I want to keep reading them and I want to keep bugging you.
I
So
think it's almost always like the multi-platform is like, creating a song and creating it in a very creative way, right? So, which I've been doing a lot lately. So I'm just putting it out there and having a platform for creativity is like multi-platform.
right. Like as in you're applying your creativity to different parts or different aspects of your artistic career is what you're saying.
Yeah, or like for example, if I was been focused on making songs, like David Andrew here, you make songs all the time, don't you? And so like, by making a song you could share with your fellow musicians or your fans on different platforms so that you can grow your presence and growth and have more creativity. Not just for, I guess not just for musicians who create songs, but also for artists and for anybody who has passions to grow.
That's a really good point actually, because there's something called music distribution, and that with that simple tool, it's a little bit of money, yes, but that gets my music everywhere, all the platforms, Spotify, Amazon, Deezer, Apple Music, all the popular platforms, and it only costs me a little bit of time and money to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a form of multi-platform presence that we haven't even gotten into, but I agree. Like
I'd love to
depending
see
on your
that.
promotional strategy, that's totally
Y-
worthwhile.
Yeah, I think that like I just created from like I used ChatGPT to create a manifestation uh lyric song that avoids suppression and stuff like that. So I call it "I Am Within Me." I've posted it already on Facebook for those people who've already seen it, but it's so beautiful. It's like the whole reason why I created it was because I do well with singing and song and like doing a ritual, just being in my body and meditation or something like that. It just reminds me of sometimes it gets boring. You need just to like listen to it to actually uplift yourself. And so I created that. So I thought like, yeah, I'd like just what you just touched based on with Deezer and Spotify, and I'm looking forward to see how that can actually, grow, and then you can create abundance from there.
Well, I mean, that's a whole other category and possibly even something that we'll talk more about in November. I'm curious to see what everyone thinks we should cover in November. I was starting to lean towards AI, and so maybe that's something we could talk more about next month. And given that we're next month, it's 2 days from now, it would be good to hear from everyone what they think would be a good topic. Maybe
Yeah.
that one is more helpful than multi-platform presence and growth, right?
And don't forget, it's Halloween tomorrow. So
No, it
for
is. It
people who
is.
are actually over in overseas, maybe it's already Halloween right now, right? So yeah.
Yeah, boo. It's Halloween. But so, like, it sounds like what you're doing is you're kind of following in the footsteps of Hugh. Is that your intention to kind of make that sort of manifestation music or using AI? Is that your game plan?
Oh, I just thought to try it out, and then
Try it out.
I saw that like I what I do is that I do events, as you know. I also do I draw and paint. And I'm actually what I'm thinking is that also because I do events, and I write, I journal. So I'm like thinking, okay, let's put that all together. What if I could just create planners, like drawings and things like that. And then also have like a soundtrack to follow me on my journey. And I was also thinking I've actually influenced another person who's looking for if you know anyone, Dave, you know anybody who's looking to have a cat, you know.
Hmm.
I had that friend reach out to me, and it's like, she's looking for cat sitter for 3 to 6 months. So if there's any people out there who are looking to have a cat, just let myself know or David know. And so, anyways, the friend that I was thinking about, like, her and I, she created a song as well, and I thought, what if we just collaboratively work together, including you, Dave, if you're interested, and then have like an album of things like, for example, um, people are dealing with like their money situation or financial stress, like me sometimes, right? So, so I put it into song and people like create stuff out of it and then like create like a whole, like, how they have collaborations and CDs, with different artists and stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking, like having
Yeah.
it like, okay, your transformation from financial stress to abundance, and then putting it through the journey of that and then having it as a collaboration and then everybody like, because it's a joint album that you and your friends have. That's what I'm thinking, that, Dave and then myself and the cat lady who I'm talking about, you know, having that collaboration together and then putting all their songs in and then and then fundraising for it or something like that, and then putting it with and the cat lady who I'm speaking about also is an artist too. So then she can actually create that. I mean, with me, alongside with me with art, so like having like an I Am Possibility event where we have artists draw for, who they are as a possibility based on a certain theme, like maybe it's mental health or something like that, and then have the songs play in the background and put into breakout rooms, and everybody who resonates with that particular song will keep playing, or certain themes of songs and stuff. So anyway, so just thinking about that type of thing. So it's
Gotcha.
it's it's a little bit more elaborate than Hughes, but it's more in like, you know, I don't know, like when I was growing up in the Philippines too, is just like, people loved to journal and draw and paint, and then sometimes on their own time, and having all of that tune in with music, you know, having that experience, and then having a multi-artist album to generate, okay, what is life? This is the different aspects of life and stuff.
Well, first of all, I love what you're talking about because it is basically multi-platform presence and growth. You're talking about mixed media, applying your inspiration to different areas. So that's really awesome. The other thing that I liked about what you said, really, we're in the community already. So if put it out to Spark Infinity, right? Is there somebody in Spark Infinity that would like to have a cat? Would like the company of a pet? Having the company of a pet is an awesome thing. It's always sad when they pass on, but I
And they
guess
can
that's
make that into a song too, by the way, right? So, yeah. They make that into a song. All their discoveries and what they're doing with regarding to making with the cat can also be put into a song. I'm sure somebody would love that, when they're taking care of a cat for the very first time. Maybe somebody's experience of a cat is translated into a song.
gotcha. Put a cat into a song, cat gifs. Yeah, I mean, you can do whatever you want with AI nowadays. So
Yeah, it's just like
that's
your cat that you had once upon a time. What's his name? George?
well, that's a puppet, but yeah, if
Okay.
you want to think of that as cat ownership, I suppose you can be delusional about it.
It's almost like Mr. Rogers with Daniel, right? Daniel the
Yeah.
tiger and Friday the Prince Tuesday and yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, I will say that pet setting is actually a pretty good gig, and I've done it a few times. I've looked after people's dogs. I don't know if I've ever had to look after people's cats in an official capacity, but I have certainly been in homes with people who have cats. So it's almost like I've always enjoyed other people's pets, and they've kind of sort of become my own by extension.
They do have a cat cafe down here as well, right? The number of
Yeah, of
places.
course.
Hmm.
There's dog cafes, there's cat cafes. I hear those are pretty fun. But of
And
course, they,
there's
they
also
don't,
bunny cafes too.
yeah. Of course, the animals don't really recognize you as their owner, so it's kind of a different relationship, right?
Hmm. Exactly. Where's the dog
Yeah.
cafes? You gotta show me those ones, Dave.
Just look for them. I'm sure you could Google it or whatever.
Hmm.
Well, I think that's plenty of waffle. I'll probably dive into this presentation. Not that it's going to take too long to get through it, but let's look at the journey so far. So, this is what we've looked at this month, in the month of October, on multi-platform presence, meaning you've gotten 3 webinars already and you're getting the 4th one today. The results Spark Infinity achieved in just 3 months, that was the first presentation. So I'm showing you what was possible in a relatively short amount of time using relatively small amounts of resources and time to actually do it. So that was amounted to 15,310 views across the platforms, and really potentially more. So again, in 3 months of posting daily, using very little time and very little money to actually do it, short clips to various social networks got us 15,310 views.
That's Instagram, right?
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And I
Oh
couldn't get the
wow.
numbers for X, so we might have more views than that.
Ooh.
The second presentation I gave was on tools and apps that make the entire process possible and or more efficient. I think maybe I could be wrong, but this is the reason why a lot of people say multi-platform presence is not worth the time, effort, or energy. It's not worth burnout. It's because they assume they have to do everything themselves, like content and content repurposing. If I would agree that if you did it all yourself, it probably wouldn't be worth your time, bottom line, because I've done that myself and I know how much time and effort it can take. And yeah, it gets you results, but maybe not results that are proportional to the effort invested. And then the third webinar, which was last week that we covered, was content creation repurposing, achieving maximum efficiency while doing the content creation and repurposing, which really kind of ties into, I mean, the whole thing ties into each other, and that was by design. We're just building on each presentation. So today we're going to look at the big picture. And the first question, and we'll be looking at multiple questions that I'll be asking is it worth doing? And the answer to all of the questions I'm going to be asking today is it still is going to be, it depends. It depends on you. It depends on your situation or circumstances. It depends on what you hope to achieve using multiple platforms. And building a multi-platform presence will be worth it for different people and different companies at different times. I'll be talking more about timing in a moment, but first, you have to figure out whether it's worth it. So let's look at a few questions that'll help you determine this. The first is, do you feel like you've mastered or you're at least growing on one platform? Why is that an important question? Because if you're not already seeing some traction with what you're doing, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or Pinterest, or elsewhere, then just because you deployed elsewhere doesn't mean you're going to see any kind of results. So the goal really is, if you're going to add another platform or 2 or 3 or 4, hopefully you've got something that people already want that's already working. Next, is there an audience in the platform or platforms you're planning to add to your marketing mix? In other words, you might be posting to Facebook and there's people of every kind of demographic on Facebook. There's still people joining from across the world for the first time, I believe. So they're still growing in different countries. But what about something like Brighteon, which is a pretty darn obscure platform? Is your audience over there? Depends, So and there's a lot of free speech sort of stuff happening over there. That kind of network became far more popular during the pandemic. So you got to be realistic about whether or not there's an audience in the platform that you're looking to add. And chances are there is if you stick to the major platforms. But if you go with more obscure ones and no one can make any promises. Next question, have you figured out an efficient way to maintain and grow a multi-platform presence? This usually comes with the use of virtual assistants, so people who can handle it on your behalf. Filipino virtual assistants happen to be relatively affordable and very happy to work for you. I hear really great things about Singaporean virtual assistants as well, just because of the good cultural and language fit. There's tools and apps, we've talked about those, and some really great ones too. And there's also AI, and there's a lot of stuff coming, and I don't even know about all of it, to be frank.
Are you actually like connected to some Filipino virtual assistants?
Not presently, but I had a few that I've worked with for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a transcriptionist, and at some point, I think she was having eye troubles, and that was kind of the point at which I was like, I think you should go and get that taken care of because I don't want
Yeah.
hurt yourself.
That
And she couldn't do it anyway.
Yeah, the virtual assistants was something that I was thinking about doing a long time ago. Whoops, that idea just went out the window. But
And for me too. It's in the long list of things I either tried or considered. And I think at one point that was something that I said, sure, I mean, I can handle all kinds of tasks. Why not? But I think the job very typically still goes to like moms or housewives, or it goes to people overseas. So if figuring out how to appeal to that market, I think would be an important step if that's something that you really wanted to do. Do you have a proven offer that's worth promoting? Again, this is not a question that'll matter to every artist, every musician, every writer, poet, whatever it is that you're doing out there, photographer. But I think for a lot of artists, it does matter. It's like, do I have something that is actually going to make a return for me? Is it going to convert email subscribers? Is it going to convert actual customers or listeners or viewers or whatever it is? And you have to consider whether, like, is it working, right? Like, which kind of goes back to the first question. Is the offer that you're putting in front of people already working? And that's something that you would want to consider before building another platform or building on another platform. Do the platforms you're planning to add to your marketing mix spark joy? Well, I think this is a question that a lot of people aren't asking or don't ask.
I like that question because it reminds me of the spark joy with regarding the cleaning.
Yeah, the life-changing art of tidying up or something like that.
Yeah, that's
Great,
right. Like
great
spark
book.
joy has never been the same again.
Marie Kondo, which I think
That's
properly
right.
pronounced is actually Kondo Marie, because her name is Japanese. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it actually would be.
I think
Yes.
that it's very interesting because it's like, it's not really just spark joy, but it's actually but I mean, you could actually relate to creating the context for yourself rather than like waiting for it to happen, right? So,
Hmm.
or is that what you're referring to? I don't know. Maybe like I should just check in with what you're referring to.
Context is a good thing to think about for sure. This is more like, well, I love Facebook and I enjoy posting to it and I seem to be getting pretty good results. What about X? And if you don't like posting to X, or if you don't like the platform, or if you don't like engaging or interacting on it, why would you add it? So I feel like this is a question everyone would want to ask before going and adding more work to their plate. If it's not sparking joy, you're just there for the sake of being there.
Yeah.
And
I
to
I
be
think
fair, there are tools that would allow you to just post your blog. Like if you're a writer and you're posting blog posts every day, there are tools that allow you to just syndicate without you ever having to actually build a presence anywhere. Seth Godin does that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's
wish
the
that
question.
like I wish like marketing mixes were like video games. Sorry to just to say that because like the stimulation of like I don't know like there's a like for instance I've started using School or something like that and they
Hmm.
have like window sitters. Imagine if you had like for each marketing mix you had a window sitter on each and every platform. That would be so cool. I think that I would love that. That would spark joy any day. You know a window sitter, right?
Well, I'm not sure of the context. I assume it's somebody who's looking after things on your behalf as people are
No,
posting content. No?
no. So a window sitter is like basically it's a graphic or cartoon that sits on your window. Not literally a window, but I'm talking about your computer window. So for
Okay.
example, if you have like Facebook or Instagram, you have one window in Facebook, one window in Instagram. When you open it, then you'll see because of the different types of platform, maybe the Facebook would have be a purple cat that's sitting on your window. It's like a graphic that's just sitting there on your window. And then window on Windows, by the way, or Windows on Apple, or Windows on your phone or something. And then there's an Instagram, and then there's a little icon. Maybe it could be like a yellow star or something that's just on top of your window. That's what I'm talking about. It's a little
Okay.
graphic that you
Yeah.
sit on top of your icon. And I said that would be something that like a sparking joy in a way, if that had
Well,
had.
yeah, I guess for some people it probably does spark joy. For me, it would just annoy me. I wouldn't want one. I know what those are, and they've been around a long time. And it was kind of a really unique sort of thing when the internet came along, and people kind of took to it because, well, let's face it, mostly it's porn that's been innovating the internet the whole time. So I believe that's where it got started. But for a lot of people, like the Microsoft paperclip and stuff, like it's nothing more than an annoyance, don't you think?
That's so funny. I don't know, for me back in the day, I had like, I was interested, I mean, I'm still interested in Japanese animation. I had like Asuka sitting on the window, or like Snoopy or Garfield or something like that. And those were,
Yeah.
every time I opened a window I could select what character that was sitting on there. So, yeah, it was
If
just
you,
an idea to spark joy in the conversation of like the multi-platform.
yeah, I think if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. Use it. Have fun with it. I'm not opposed to anyone, you know, engage in the things that make you happy for sure.
Definitely, but it was really interesting how you got annoyed with the paperclip. I'm sure
Well,
everybody
it's
does
just so
get annoyed
bad.
with the eyes moving all the time and everything. Every time your
Yeah.
mouse moved, it looked at your mouse. So I got that.
It's funny how like pretty much everything wrong with Windows back in the day it's become a meme, right? At some point it became a meme,
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
But I guess as it pertains to this question, some aspect of it should be fun or enjoyable. That's how you know it's worthwhile. And while social media may be addicting by design, I find it's a love-hate relationship with most people. So just being super aware of how you feel when you're going about looking at different platforms, exploring different platforms, publishing to different platforms. The next question would be, when should you do it? And I feel like there is a timing for it. Again, as I kind of said at the beginning, it depends on the individual and the company at what they're trying to achieve. The first question here would be, when you're doing well on at least one platform. We kind of covered that already. I'm going to take a quick swig of water here. There we go. My voice is still doing funny things. Cool. Yeah, when you're doing well on at least one platform, if that's not already happening, then just because you're moving to another platform doesn't assure increased followers, sales, engagement, whatever you're looking for. Next is when you've got the right systems in place. That also, we've hinted at that, or we've talked a little bit about that already. You've got the virtual assistants or the team. You've got the apps. You've got the tools, or you've got the schedulers, AI tools, whatever it is. When you've got those things ready, it makes the process of multi-platform presence and growth so much easier. And working that into your plan and knowing where it's going also makes it easier to execute. When you have an offer to amplify, I feel like this is important. So like some people will keep pushing whatever it is they got. Might be their art, might be their music, might be their writing or the books or the poetry. And they take it about as far as they can go on a Facebook group or YouTube or whatever. So they're not really seeing new signups. They're not seeing new followers. There always seems to be a limit on any one place. And sometimes you have to take your stuff to another platform. It doesn't mean you remove yourself from the one you were on, but it's like in addition to, maybe I should add this platform so that I can continue to grow and continue to amplify and have more impact. And some people don't want to do that too. There are people who aren't interested in growing, who don't want to grow beyond what they're. But if you are interested in growing, then that might be something to consider. When it's not going to drain you, also kind of goes back to the spark joy question. So is it going to be a drain on your time, energy, or resources? I shared about how we've really been achieving the results with Spark Infinity with a minimal investment. Now, building out our website's going to be a whole other matter. That takes time and effort and energy. And I would really love to hand off most of those tasks because they are repetitive and pretty basic. But as far as what we've been doing on social media, leveraging content that we already have, splitting it down into smaller pieces using tools. That's it. So it's not a huge drain on time, money, or energy. And what should you do if you're going to do a multi-platform growth? Well, you should certainly determine which platforms to build, grow, and maintain a presence on. This would be the audience question. So knowing where your audience is, knowing where they like to hang out, there are so many tools you can use to spy on a competitor websites or people you've been influenced by or people who look like you or sound like you or write like you in the same genre. Go and research them, and you'll probably find pretty quickly which platforms are working best, and you'll probably see some themes emerge, which will make it really easy for you to know. But knowing about your audience, I would say, is like foundational for any kind of multi-platform success. Create an editorial calendar. This is, I don't know, I've done this before. It's almost like do as I say, not as I do, because I'm not great at keeping up with this kind of stuff, though I have created multiple editorial calendars. Now it's really just a matter of what's the least amount of time, effort, energy I can put into figuring this out. And for the most part, I don't have to figure this out because I use Opus Clip. And for every longer video that we create, just like we're creating today, it splits it up automatically, identifies the pieces that it thinks will go viral, and I just take those and I put them in the calendar and schedule them out, and that's it.
What is this one? What app is it?
Opus Clip.
Opus Clip. Okay. Is it based on like topics, basically, right?
I believe it's AI driven, and what it
Oh.
does is, if you have live streams or if you have YouTube content, you load it in, and it will break it down into a bunch of clips for you. Like, this used to be pretty much a manual process, right? You had to go through your whole content, our podcast or whatever it was, and go like, okay, I think this moment was good. I think this moment was good. Opus Clip will just do that for you. And then it'll even give you like a viral score or SEO score, and it will say, well, I think this is a 99. So it's just trying to give you an idea whether or not it thinks this is a good topic, and whether it'll get views and whether it'll succeed or not. Doesn't mean it's always right.
Yeah.
But that is a handy tool. And then it's got a scheduler built in, and it does connect to the main platforms: Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, I think, TikTok, YouTube, etc.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I find that's helpful, but for a lot of people too, just for consistency's sake, just like our quote unquote editorial calendar for October for Spark Infinity is multi-platform presence and growth, right? So our job is just to keep it on topic so people know what's coming next. That's it. Simple as that. What should you do? Another question or another thing to consider: tailor your content to the platform when and where possible. I mean, this is, again, a little bit do as I say, not as I do, but you want to create content that matches the platforms you're posting to. Like, for a while, I was doing more Twitter or X type stuff, short form content, and I was distributing it using Fedica, which is another great social media distribution tool. I enjoyed it a lot. I might use it again. It's just not really a need for me at this particular moment in time. But if you're looking for ways to distribute the content widely, and especially like, so there's different tools matched to different purposes is what I'm getting at. You could use Vedica for that short form content. You could use Opus Clip for your video clips, and that would allow you to tailor things a little bit more, which I was doing. Of course, you've got to deploy your VAs, tools, and or AI apps, whatever it is you're using, whatever combination of things, or maybe not even combination, whatever singular thing you're using, of course, you'll have to deploy those and get yourself off to the races. How should you do it? Create your pillar content. This is the strategy or the overarching means or method that I would suggest. These Spark Infinity office hours become pillar content because they're long form. Doesn't mean that they're amazing all the way through or engaging all the way through. It means there's going to be some really good moments in here. And I usually like to edit these down and turn them into slightly shorter videos. And that they get turned into clips as well with the most engaging. So step one is really create your pillar content, whatever that is. It could be an article, it could be a podcast, it could be a video, whatever you see as being able to repurpose in some way. And then you would split it into smaller chunks and prepare it for the platforms you'll be posting to. We talked about this last week too. I'll give you the example of a blog post just in case people might be curious about how they would go about doing something like that. So blog posts very typically include things like statistics, they include quotes, they include quotable moments of their own, and other tidbits that are worth sharing. Those can be turned into images for Instagram or Facebook. They can be turned into tweets to be shared out on X and other platforms. So there's always ways to break down larger pieces of content into smaller ones.
Do they still call it tweets?
Yeah, I think it's just posts now.
Okay, that's too bad because I think the tweets were actually really good from Twitter.
Yeah.
I know that just when it did the X, maybe people were just sick and tired of like tweets. I was just going into.
I don't think so. It almost just feels like a decision that Elon Musk unilaterally made and said it should be X now, and let's redesign and make it X. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he got sick and tired of it. People tweeting it.
Yeah, maybe just to change sort of the reputation or change the branding to better reflect what he felt it should be.
And did it actually tweet, by the way?
Did what actually tweet?
I don't know when you actually. I didn't use Twitter as much, but like, did it ever
Oh.
have tweet every time that there's a post on Twitter?
I mean, I used to be huge on Twitter. It was my favorite platform. Less so now because I invested so much time, energy, money, effort into it and really didn't get the kind of return that I was hoping for. It's kind of a dead space now. I'm not finding my people there for whatever reason, and maybe my people aren't there.
I'm just wondering about the sound. You know how that? Yeah, I mean,
Sound
ICQ
effects?
had the uh-oh. I mean, did they have any
Right.
tweet?
I've never heard that before, or maybe there was something like that back in the day when it was first getting started. I feel like I
Twitter?
remember something
Okay,
like that.
I just wanted to check in with that if it did or
The,
not.
t-
So
the tweet sound effects. Yeah, that's
yeah.
funny. Again, I think that's one of those things that people would be easily irritated by. But if it sparks joy for you, then more power to you.
Right. So yeah, it's like those ringtones, right? That you actually have. A lot of people actually have different ringtones. Even maybe they were like fans of Pokemon or something. They have like peak up tones or something. Anyways, go on.
That's true. I never got huge on ringtones just because I always have my phone on vibrate and never on.
I actually have stuff to say about that too. Like
Okay.
honestly, like the yeah, I turn like it usually goes on vibrate too. But I had so many like messages, and I think that's the reason why I put it on vibrate. But
Yeah. Yeah, we need to be able to focus too. And today's been one of those days where it's like a lot of messages and some that I found annoying. Maybe it's just my current state of mind, though. They were not to my preference. Next is take full advantage of automation tools. We've talked about a bunch of them. Go back to the tools and apps webinar to know which ones to use, or go out there and Google stuff, find stuff on your own. I don't care. I didn't do all this research for nothing.
I
And
gotta look into that so that I create the automation what I'm doing, right? So yeah.
yeah, I don't know how people propose to do it without automation. I'm sure there are people who like they're full time, or this is their only thing, or they've got a massive team, or whatever it is. Outside of those circumstances, doing everything that I do, I don't see myself,
Could could
dedicating.
could you name about like two of them? I know that like, maybe the viewers out there are like wondering what
Oh yeah,
automation? Why should we look at the video again? Could you just give it like a sneak peek to like what were the two things that automation you could take a look at?
that's good. Yeah, no, you should be asking questions that other people might be wondering about, because chances are there is someone else that's asking those questions. So a couple that have already come up, like Fedica, that one seems to connect to a broad array of social networks like Facebook and X and Instagram and Blue Sky and Mastodon. So it has reach to networks that you wouldn't necessarily even think to build a presence on, but you might want to explore, experiment with. Well, guess what? If all your content is distributing out to all these networks at once with just singular effort, then you save a lot of time, energy, and money doing it that way by experimentation, and just seeing whether or not it's something that works for you.
And how do
Opus
you
Clip,
find this Fedica? Is it
yeah, it's
Fedika? Because couldn't find it. And what you just
no,
said about Mastodon sounded like something like from Power Rangers. So I wasn't too sure about
Mastodon.
what that is.
Mastodon was like a giant fish or a giant dinosaur fish or something like that. Yeah, that's what I
No, I
believe it
thought it was like
originally.
an elephant because it's like Mastodon or from Black Ranger or something like that. I don't know.
Right. This is where I would appreciate having a whiteboard or something, because I could write it down for you. But no, there's no K in there. It's a C. Fedica. Fedica.
Oh, because
Number,
it says Federica. Like I'm looking on Brave. It says
yeah,
Frederica, but that's not the run. So okay, so it's Fedicica.
I
Okay,
C A.
not Frederica. I don't know who Frederica is.
No, me either. And it's literally Fedica.com, I believe.
Yeah, yeah, I see it now. Federica.com. Build a thriving social media community using deep insights.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. And then the other one was Opus Clip again?
Opus, yeah, Opus Clip, definitely. That one will
Okay.
let you take your YouTube content, your video content, split it down into smaller clips that you can schedule out. It's fast, it's automatic, it's not instantaneous, but very
Oh,
useful for what we've been up to with Spark Infinity. This is how we've been able to deploy shorts everywhere.
that's
And
awesome.
we have a near unlimited, I won't say unlimited, but like virtually unlimited sources to pull from, because we've done so many interviews, we've done so many shows. We're not going to run out of clips anytime soon, folks.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, it also
yeah,
shows here like it's based in for Play Store, Apple Store, Chrome, Firefox, and Internet Explorer. Uh,
definitely. Meet Edgar, right? That's another really great one. I enjoy it.
what?
I'm not,
Meet Edgar,
Meet
right?
Edgar. Yeah,
Oh,
Edgar.
meet Edgar. Okay, it just sounded like very weird. Okay, what
It's
is
like
it? Is it MEAT?
no, no, no. It's not meat. We're not going to eat it, although it is an octopus. It's Meet, and Edgar, as in the name Edgar.
Okay, good thing you spelled it out because I heard it meet Babar. So the
Yeah.
elephant, right?
Okay.
So yeah, meet Edgar.
Well,
Social
you just
media.
hear things
Okay.
weirdly all the time, so I'm
Oh
pretty sure it's.
no.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
Okay, perhaps. Okay, maybe I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. Social media stealing your workday? Oh no. automate posting with Edgar. Okay. Okay. Oh, I see. He's a squid. He's not an
Exactly.
elephant.
Okay, I didn't say elephant. I might have said octopus, but
No, but you did say octopus, but I heard babar, right? So I just
how would you get Babar from octopus?
no,
It's
from
it's
Edgar and babar sound like rhyming. So that's what I'm.
again, this is where if there was a whiteboard feature of some kind, it would sure make a difference.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I'll try it for free. And this guy is like how much?
I think you can get started for, I don't know, $40 a month or $50 a month or something like that.
Oh my.
I, I think it's the first of its kind because what it does is it lets you create a content library. It's not the only tool out there that now does that, but the benefit being whatever you put in your library stays in your library, and Meet Edgar or Edgar will continue to pull from the content in your library and keep syndicating and distributing it out on the
Oh.
schedule that you set. That's the
Oh,
advantage.
interesting. Oh, I got the price plans here. It says choose the best plan that is best for your business. 29.99 per month, or that's the monthly plan, or the 49.99 per month. What's the
That's right.
difference?
There's two plans. Well, just the connectivity, like the number of networks you can connect, as well as the number of posts that you can have scheduled and go out every single week or
Do,
day, or you
do
know,
you do you have a promo code, Dave? Maybe that we could
not.
use your promo code
I
so
do
we
not
can like that.
currently.
Darn
Maybe I
it.
should.
Okay. Oh
Maybe I
wow.
should with talking about all these tools, but yeah,
Yeah, definitely. So get all the users out there in Spark Infinity, like, your promo codes, and then they'll be listening for more. It's like, okay, find the promo code that David says every time so that you'll go through every single second of your YouTube, right? Or the
yeah,
Facebook, right? I think that's how that works. I think some like YouTubers do that all the time. Okay, I'm going to
of
give
course,
the
yeah,
promo code in the video. You have to find it like an Easter egg hunt, sort of thing like that. So I just little idea maybe.
I've actually done pretty okay as an affiliate, and of course it makes sense, right? I've done thousands of podcasts or hundreds of podcasts. I've done thousands of articles, so I've got stuff out there. Kit is a product that I do recommend, and that would be for email. And we should cover email briefly here, just based on what you're saying.
Okay.
But email, is kind of its own channel. Like I don't think of it as multi-platform, but as part of your multi-platform strategy, you ought to prioritize creating a customer list. And generally, the most accessible way is to get people to give you their email by giving something of value to them. Like a really good, what they call lead magnet. But kit.com, KIT, or I think you could go to davidandreweeb.com/convertkit if you
Mm,
wanted to sign up with them. I've earned some really decent commissions with them, and it would be cool if we got a representative to come and talk to us, the community,
nice.
Spark Affinity, right? I think that'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
hmm Definitely. Who's your brand ambassador? I guess we could be our own brand ambassadors.
Yeah,
So
find our brand ambassador. Yes, absolutely. Or affiliate
yeah,
manager, as the case might be.
that's
The other
right.
one, the,
hmm
the other one is almost so obvious. Well, I guess people watching this don't necessarily know that we're using it, but StreamYard, you can
Right. The
live stream to
duck.
multiple, like we do. We live
I
stream to 2 YouTube channels and a Facebook group every single week.
I
And
really love the animals, Dave. We have like the octopus, and then now we have the duck. What
well,
else is
yeah,
there?
the duck is awesome. I don't know who made that logo or who chose that to be the logo of StreamYard, but it's great. Like you imagine a yard, a duck isn't the first animal that comes to mind. So
Yeah, definitely. It reminds me of those like Tamagotchis that you see on the screen, right? I don't know if you. Sorry, I've played with my Windows computer too many times. They're following the mouse every time. It's like a little cat, right? So, anyways,
right.
another one of those window sitters, not window sitters, but now mouse graphics, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. But absolutely take advantage of those tools. And like it says here, just have fun with it. Really, like it's social media, man. Don't worry about trying to do it perfect. I know so many people stress about this. Post every day at 8 a.m. or post every week at Friday at, at 2 p.m. Dude, it's social media. Like, yes, be consistent to the extent that you can do it, but it's really one of those things. Messy is almost better, really. A lot of people want to be look so good and be so consistent and have their brand sorted and all that kind of stuff. Don't get me wrong, it feels really good to have great design stuff. It really does, but it doesn't necessarily help you grow in social media. You get be messy, use different colors, use different fonts, have fun with it, mess it up real good. Like seriously. So, how do you measure effectiveness with multi platform growth? Well, we've covered this. And actually, it was probably about a year ago that we originally covered this topic. What are the metrics or what are the things that matter most when it comes to social media? Why do it in the first place? And well, so what I've done here is I've just conveniently organized it from least important to most important. The least important, the part that we all focus on way too much and shouldn't at all because it usually amounts to nothing, is likes, comments, shares, and followers.
I like how you actually say vanity metrics.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, I'm loving to like too many fans and stuff. Little peace
exactly.
sign and like that. No, just,
If
anyways,
if you're an artist thinking like a business owner, those are vanity metrics. You don't focus on them. I know it's so easy because you post your painting online and you want validation and you want people to like it and you want people to care. You post your photograph, you post your music, but on the back end, it doesn't always amount to subscribers. It doesn't always amount to customers. It doesn't always amount to clients. Frequently, it doesn't. So an unhealthy obsession with that. Like, look, if validation's your goal, then please go right ahead. That is your metric. But if you're a business minded artist, then that's not where to focus. Number two is connections. Connections can be insanely valuable over the long haul. I have relationships that have netted me tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars over time. I don't look at people as dollar figures, though, and that's not why I connect with people. So, and people can always tell. I had someone at a networking event not long ago, you know, kind of say to me like, well, it's all well and good to give advice, but like talk is cheap, man. You got to put your money where your mouth is. Well, what if my advice was worth $300 an hour? And guess what? You can't book me for cheaper than that. That is my coaching rate. That is my going rate right now. You can't book me for cheaper than that. So some people don't even appreciate advice that could be worth tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to them. Anyway, let's create good connections, right? And it's all about how you approach it.
I love that. You're so authentic, Dave.
Yes, I
Some pe-
am.
some people are just like all about the money, right? So it's like it's great to be authentic and really care about the people.
Yeah, I think that's what matters. It's just awkward talking to people that only care about the money. And they've got networking groups for that anyway. It's called BNI. Go join that. That's all they
Yeah,
talk about. My business, my business, my business, my business. I'm sorry. I'm like, I want to swear.
I think there's some BNI groups that really care about the members, but
You're
you
right.
know,
You're right.
yeah.
It just depends on what group you get into and what people, and that's
Hmm.
it. So it's all about the people,
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely. It's all about the people. Depends on the club that you join in, and But I really hear you. Now, I would probably say another name of a company. It was like it was a company that I worked for long time ago. I was joining. It was a multi-level marketing thing, but I'm gonna omit the name. And I went into their group, and it was all about like, finances and stuff like that.
Mm.
And you could feel the energy of greedy people in the
Oh
room.
man.
And I felt so gross. It's like every time they talk about it with me, I see money bags in their eyes. And it's just like, no, no, this is the worst energy ever, you know?
Mm,
And it's just like I don't follow people who have those money bags in their eyes. I prefer to have like somebody who cares, right? So, yeah, really
yeah.
cares, hears you out, um, and that doesn't like, like swat you away or anything like that. So I think like the authenticness is really important, and those people who have money bags in their eyes, yeah, I don't think like, this is actually just a very important topic for me. Like,
Yes.
I feel like, you know, the what's important for me is the cause, like for instance, like with AI and AI assistants and stuff like that, and like I'm creating with people in for health. There's a number of people that I'm working with right now, and a doctor and like counselor and like a nurse and stuff like that, and a personal trainer, and I see that there's a huge benefit, but the benefit is to the people. There's some people out there who have businesses, trauma happens or something happens, and then their financial situation goes like this. Those
Hmm.
those AI bots or those AI agents could really do really well to help them with what they're needing. Yeah, so anyways, I go for like, transformation on the planet and being authentic, and as I've always worked as a person who, like for instance, like I worked in a mobile shop, not specifically mobile shop, but I'm not going to name what that
Sure.
particular place is, but like, like I worked there, and like, most mobile shops have like cell phone shops or commission. I never worked on commission. It was
Mm.
always for the benefit of the person. And I remember when I was working for that mobile shop, I had lineups already all the way down the block.
Wow.
This was in the mall, by the way. And then the store manager came out and they asked, "What's going on with these people?" And they said, "Oh, we're waiting for Susanna." And then it was like,
Wow.
"Okay, well, Susanna, enough. Stop doing that and start like, just refer to other people." And I said, "Okay, thank you guys for all coming for me. I really appreciate it. And you can be served with others. Don't just wait for me." And so the lines of people dispersed and they started being active with everyone. But it was just really interesting because they really when businesses, or not, I should say, when businesses all just care about the money, people don't come, but like if they really care about the people and the authenticness of like, that they really see that they want to be there because they know that they're going to get the value that they care about for, you know, and they know that they're loved and taken care of. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to share that with you, and I'm glad that you're not that type of person. So yeah.
Yeah. Like when that mall experience happened for you, clearly you were tapped into some kind of energy because that's, you know, people who attract like that. It's not certainly not an accident, but it's also because you're tapped into like who you are and you were clearly making a difference for people.
Hmm.
And then it is about your tribe because I guess to distill what you were saying, you just didn't resonate with certain groups. And I'm the same way. I just don't resonate with certain groups. And but as far as like my students go and what we're trying to accomplish, I coach people to not look at people as money bags. It's like, yes, they might have money that belongs to you. You know, that's the mindset of a salesperson. But let's build a relationship. Let's have a connection. You know, this is what matters to people. And the thing that I just see more and more, and I'm complaining about it a lot, and maybe I should stop complaining so I stop attracting it. But like, for instance, I was at a so-called networking thing on Sunday, and ostensibly we were all there to share about who we were and to see if there's any kind of connection. But the person hosting the session was she when she came to her share, she put no time limit on it, and she was the longest share, And when we were all said and done, she's like, well, she did say, like, to her credit, I'm not here to sell you anything here, but here's what I'm up to. But when it was all said and done, she also said, oh, but this program is perfect for you, and it's perfect for you, and it's perfect for you. What a flippant waste of half an hour of my life.
Wow.
Yeah. And
So
we're going back and forth on LinkedIn, and I just like, look, I've gotten all kind of world-class training. I've gotten world-class coaching. I continue to be part of clubs and groups. A course isn't really what I need. And I went on. I'm like, I'm an award-winning composer. I'm a best-selling author. I've written thousands of articles. I have 13 books. Some of award-winning best-selling. Another program isn't really what I need right now. And then she responded with, was there a question in what you? I'm like, no, there's no question and there's no ask, because you clearly, like, I told her about what I'm up to, and you obviously didn't see anything in it. So there's no question and no ask, because clearly we're not in the same tribe. Clearly we're not connecting. Clearly we're missing each other somewhere. And I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it because I know what people are doing. I think that's part of it. And I know all the tactics and I use them. So when you're a wizard, you may be a sales wizard, but when you're talking to another wizard, you just aggravate them when you pull the same crap. Act today or you're not going to get this. Well, join me right now. Yeah. Anyway, connections. You're not going to get along with everyone, but incredibly valuable when you do find your right people. Next would be subscribers. And yes, YouTube subscribers, I suppose I can accept that as an answer here, but I'm primarily referring to email subscribers. That's where you're probably going to see the greatest benefit and value, is having a tribe that you can email at a moment's notice and say, hey guys, I got a new song, or I've got a new piece of art, I've got a new photograph to share with you. The next most valuable thing, of course, is sales. When you actually earn something from having posted to social media, or having, again, do it the right way, but having engaged an audience that wants what you have, and that turns into a sale. Nothing's more satisfying, and once you experience it, you'll be hooked to it.
yeah, I have a thing right
Okay,
now.
go ahead.
I just wanted to let you know that I have an intermission. I may be off camera. Yeah, because I have to transfer something. I need to drive.
Okay, do what
So
you got to do.
okay, awesome. So so I'll catch you all later. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, Susanna.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Take care.
Later. And then the last thing I had was opportunities. I think at the end of the day, it's not that different from connections. Connections are what generally lead to opportunities, but opportunities could be things like joint ventures, affiliate offers, or affiliate programs that you can participate in, being invited to be a part of a sponsorship deal, and things like that. Those would be the opportunities that, if they come to you, again, they're going to come to you through people. I don't think they're going to come to you through cats or dogs or anything like that, and not ducks either. Maybe AI at some point is going to manage some of that, but it's still going to be people in the back end offering those opportunities to you. So it goes back to connections. Still, I would say it's something worthy of generating on social media, is opportunities. So now it's over to you. That is what I wanted to cover today. And we actually went into more depth than necessarily even I originally had planned, but Susanna was here to contribute to the conversation, which I thought was great. I hope you thought that was great. But let me ask you a few questions. I'd love to hear. What did you enjoy most about this series on multi-platform presence, and what did you learn? What do you plan to implement, having learned what you've learned? Is there anything you're going to be going out and doing now? Did you learn about a tool? Did you learn about a tactic or a strategy that you're not going to implement? We'd love to hear about that. And what do we miss? If this stuff didn't really connect with you, is there anything else we should have covered? And what has your experience with multi-platform presence been like? Some of you might be total pros, and if that's the case, we want to know, and we want to interview you and bring you on the show and have a good conversation about it. So that option is always there. Leave a comment in the chat or in the comments, whichever box you find first. leave it in there. Let us know how you felt about this whole series on multi-platform. Of course, as I said earlier, please also let us know what topic you actually want us to cover in November. I'll make something up if you don't tell me, and it'll probably be around AI. Just saying. But I don't think anyone's going to be complaining about a masterclass in AI. IndieCareerFormula.com. Indie Career Formula is the membership I've been dreaming of creating for a long time, and week by week I'm getting closer and closer to my original vision. Not kidding, putting huge, massive amounts of action and work into this every single week. It's already incredible, and it's getting better. This is a place where creatives and creators can go to get the 5 C's, not 3, not 4: content, courses, community, coaching, and collaboration. In addition to the monthly print newsletter, which is featured here, the membership also includes a copy of one of my books, a forum, members-only forum, exclusive audios, and 4 of my courses. As far as the members-only audios go, which I am currently updating, but ultimately when everything is there, you're going to have over 250 audios exclusive to Indie Career Formula, and you won't find anywhere else. Now, you would probably expect this to cost hundreds, thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars, but I've made it very accessible even for independents. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a silver membership. In the future, I am going to be launching gold and platinum, or at least that's the plan. My life is going into overdrive, and I have multiple things right now, so I'm going to have to be more choosy. I'm going to have to pick and choose what I engage with at this point. But the silver membership, which is what we're talking about today, you can actually try it out for 30 days for just $19.95. That's not $1,995. That's $19.95. And after that, it's still just $97 per month to keep your membership and have access to all those resources and the forum. Our print material costs, and that means the book and the newsletter, costs more than $19.95. So you can see that I'm taking all the risk just so you can get a taste, just so you can experience what's available inside before you fully commit. All you have to do is say maybe. In this AI-dominated world, personally, I'm focusing more on creation, connection, and collaboration, not less, because I believe those things are going to matter more, not less. I do use AI as a tool, but I don't let it do my thinking for me, and this fact is reflected in the membership as well as the way in which I personally approach it. It's a way for me to grow myself and to build my character, although I think I'm going to change that intention. But that has been what it has been, and I have experienced all kinds of things that have tested my personal growth and character. I feel like I attracted that, so I want to change the intention, but that's what it has been. If you also want to learn how to use AI as a tool instead of letting it overtake your brain, you're in the right place at the right time. Where can you find all this stuff? Where can you get it? Where can you join? Where can you sign up? It's at indiecareerformula.com. That's INDIE. It's the URL on screen, careerformula.com. And if you have any other questions, I'm sure the website will answer them for you. By the way, would you like to be featured in our Facebook group of over 2,100 members? Spark Infinity began as a place for creatives, by creatives, for creatives, by creators, and it still is. And the thing we're interested in most is your story. Our stories are interesting. Our playbooks are kind of neat. Your story, on the other hand, is the thing that we love spotlighting most. We're more than happy to create presentations and share insights with you as we've done today. But the thing that brings us the greatest joy is spotlighting you, giving you an opportunity to share your story with our community. Whether it's an interview, a casual conversation, a roundtable, or even a show and tell, we're happy to accommodate whatever format suits you best. So if you're ready to go live with us, drop a me in the chat or in the comments. We look forward to talking with you. Also, we still have a lot of people in the group who aren't entirely familiar with the way things work in our group. I still see people posting their books, their affiliate links, their videos about products that they're promoting and other recommendations. I really don't want to see any of that until you've been on our show at least once. Sure, you can post some of that stuff, but really until you've been on the show, until you've actually experienced what Spark Infinity is, until you've actually been a part of it, really would not prefer not to see you post self-promotional type things in there. So, and honestly, what better way to showcase your work than to be featured on our show for 30 to 60 minutes? So again, we're all about spotlighting people, but prefer to do it the right way. And that's how we prefer to do it, is in a live stream. So drop a me in the chat if you're ready to go live with us, and I'll be in touch. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got lots out of this. Looking forward to seeing your comments